Well, I decided to participate in this project because archives seem to me to be a repository of stories, but there's stories that aren't always immediately obvious, and so when artists engage with archives, we can actually start to tell those stories to a broader public.
This project in particular has many different aspects in both personal and professional. For example, personal, I have many family relatives who work with mental health disabilities, and they really have quite a strong passion.
Because my work as an artist is about psychological traumas, often those that are hidden. At the moment I'm particularly interested in shame and how that affects people. And I saw the National Archives as being somewhere where people's traumas, people's shames are recorded in various ways.
I managed to delve into pieces of information that maybe hadn't been worked with before, or told me something that I had not been aware of. Also, it gave me the opportunity to respond in a different way to usual.
I found it interesting to see the personal items of somebody who had been confined as a lunatic, and I also find quite interesting the things that are quite personal to people, so photographs and the way that they've decided to present themselves, the clothes that they've chosen to wear.
There were two documents, one about female suffragettes in prison, and the other document was about women inmates from prison who were pregnant and were being rehoused for their confinement and for the time after them having babies, and these are all letters and documents about the women and their conditions, and the language used really fascinates me.
I'm particularly interested in reports of suffragettes from Holloway, and it seems that there's quite an interesting connection between the suffragette movement and the perception of madness, or at least weak-mindedness, in the women that have submitted themselves to a suffragette ideology. And so I'm working through some reports on specific women that were held in Holloway, and I think that's going to form a part of my artistic response.
I find some of the documents interesting in the sort of police reports, or even that, because even those are the professions who are dealing with historically known as lunatics. You are looking on there how they professionally explain how they have to cope with it, but also you empathise with the unknown author of those reports, which is the lunatic or the person or perhaps the victim of the record, and how they are judged.
So my initial ideas are using a visual language like sign language, Morse code or semaphore, and using those languages to communicate the source text that I find, but in a way that isn't directly or isn't automatically understood. It's hopefully drawing an audience in, so drawing the audience to the information within the archives.
I'd like to develop an audio piece where different aspects of reports and different opinions about an individual are kind of brought into conflict and sort of dialogue with one another. Again, I think in archives there are dialogues and there are narratives, but we don't often see them set against one another.
The type of artwork, quite maybe naive artist style, so it's always going to be quite a refreshed idea. It's going to be quite a refreshed type of research. So if I divulge too deeply, it's going to sort of darken my ideas of the artwork, and I don't want it to darken. I want to uplift it, like with the point of making it the NHS. I don't want it to darken and complicate it. I want to show the highlights.
I hope to be able to use glass in some way, but in terms of the artwork, I've got more general thoughts around the fact of the National Archives being a very secure place, being a keeper, things being very precious, kept in boxes. There's a lot of delving into things and things being fetched from quiet places.